Well, ladies and gentlemen, followed by this wonderful AV, may I please request right here on stage for special address on innovation, competitiveness, and technology, strategic advantage HR. Please put your hands together. May I please invite on stage Mr. Virendra Agarwal, Chief Executive Officer, Ramco Systems. Can I please have the gentleman on stage with us?
I guess you've been pulled out of your coffee a bit earlier, and some of you were still enjoying the tea and coffee outside. Whenever I give presentations, the staff who makes the presentation ensures that it's kind of idiot-proof. So essentially, even if I were to not say anything, it will still make sense to you. So I will just run through it and interject wherever necessary. So these are some phone images, not from very long period back. 2007, these kind of phones were getting introduced. People were perfecting their keypads and so on and so forth. And then this happened. Now we know Research in Motion, the largest company in Canada, became RIP. Nokia doesn't exist in phone business anymore. Motorola doesn't exist in phone. They've been bought, sold over, and so on. We know what happened. So what we are trying to say here is that things can change very, very rapidly. Many of you might have used this emails, chat, tools, and so on and so forth, and social media. And then this happened. And they could have also got obliterated. Instagram was gaining users at a much, much faster pace than Facebook ever did, but they acquired them. And so did WhatsApp, was gaining users at a very, very fast pace. The question is, so these are e-commerce sites many of you might have used in India. And then this happened. So some small change in business model, like cash on delivery, people are scared of using credit cards, and there goes the business model of so many others. So I mean, it will be difficult to guess what these numbers are, but essentially, let me say that these are the market cap of companies like this. This is the market cap of a young upstart, started by 30-somethings, and recently bought Myntra for some 2,000 crores plus. So that's where the change is happening at a very rapid pace. They're comparing with P&G in India, Tata Global Beverages in India, and bigger than them. So few 30-somethings come together, create $1.6 billion of market cap wealth. WhatsApp, two people came together with a group of about 50, 60 employees, created $19 billion of market cap, totally wiped out the SMS's business for telcos. Telcos globally suffer decline of 6 to 10% revenue per year. They don't know what their new business model is. So what we are saying is the business models can get replaced. If you are not alert, if you are not quick, innovation causes disruption, and disruption causes market cap, and business models can get changed, and guys like Flipkart can come in and generate a huge market capitalization out of nowhere, wealth out of nowhere. So what is the relevance for you as HR community? The relevance is you have to build companies which are quick, innovative, and can change very, very fast. And that can happen if you do few things. One of the things is to get the kind of people, the Shashi Tharoor referred about the young generation, the demographic dividend as a country that we have. People less than 25 years of age, about 600 million or so. So given the demographic dividend that this country has, how to make use of this talent to make your company quick, innovative response to change, and help you win the game. So we will introduce a character. Last time I had a conference in IMA and the team had made a character called Rahul, so I just told them, let's not quote controversy, we will go in for, let's have a female. And when I saw the presentation this morning, so I realized that the team gets away from quoting controversy. Sorry, I skipped a little bit. This is something I talked about. So this is the kind of talent we need to have. So the team decided to name this girl Smriti. So those of you who don't follow politics closely, I guess still most people know who Smriti is, right? So this is a young girl, 29 years of age, started BS and MS from US, follows whatever is happening globally on some of the websites, keeps updated, learning through Coursera, impatient, motivated, ambitious, multi-talented, multifaceted. And not only that, has a personal life as well. Leaves office at 4 p.m. for going to the gym and comes back to office. I joined Ramco about 2 years back and I have lived about 20 years in Singapore. And one afternoon while working, I was feeling a little lazy, so I left office and went to the gym. And by the time I came back, it was about 6-ish, so I said most people would be going home, and I was in the mood to, I said, let me get some work done. I walked up the stairs in shorts and so the entire bus sat across the office, the CEO was sitting in shorts in his office. And it's a very traditional company, with Tamil Brahmin company, where priest comes every morning to do puja and all that stuff. So I was generally told it's not it's not the right thing to be done, but then, better get used to it with people like them around. Maybe you need to organize Zumba classes and, yoga stuff and all that thing that is happening in your office. And resetting oneself is I was wanting to use the word goes to disco and so on, but our team said, okay, let's be more moderate and resetting yourself on the weekends after downing a few drinks and so on. Everybody I asked, where is this person? He's gone on holiday in Europe. And then I ventured to ask in Bombay, why did it take us just half an hour to reach the meeting? We had budgeted for 1 hour. They say in summertime Indians take break in Europe. I said, wonderful. That's very nice. So it's not that, discourse this, that, French Alps and so on and so forth. Believes in rural empowerment, teaches through an NGO, slum kids. And if you want to guess, some of you want to venture a guess which party she was thinking of joining and now jokes about it. But no comments? Nobody wants to say anything? So that's the character. So the key is, why this character? You need to engage this kind of people. Incidentally, we have started yoga classes in our company now. We're thinking of starting Zumba now. And canteen food sucks, so we have just told them to get the better vendors. We will pay half the cost, whatever canteen food is there. And very soon we will make it necessary for all senior members of the staff to be barista every day for about 1 hour in the morning. So that you get a chance to meet people, bond with each other and meet with them. And you need to make a cultural change in your company. You need to create an environment to engage this kind of people. Like, in Chennai you have male secretaries incidentally, so all of them are male secretaries. And the guy still not got over the fact to call me CEO. First time he set up a meeting, the meeting is with the CEO. I was kind of wondering which CEO I am meeting. I realized that he is referring to meeting with me. People meeting with me. So they've still not got used to calling people by name. So one thing we have done is, nobody can be called sir in the company unless you have brought an order that day. So we'll say we'll celebrate only that person who has added value today and not just be called sir. So nobody gets called sir anymore. And incidentally, I don't have a cubicle. And since they say you visit the office so little, So 5 of us share 3 seats. So whenever I'm in town in Chennai, I just make sure that I'm at 8:45 to grab my seat, before it goes. So we think that today's office environment that we have should be such that it caters to this generation. So one is area of concentration. You want to get some serious work done, an area where you could get the work done without getting disturbed. More important is the area of collaboration. On top is the cafe of Twitter. At the bottom is the office of Facebook. To get the collaboration going amongst people, one of things can be, one of the companies in Europe with over 120,000 employees has banned internal emails. So talk on social network, talk through Yammer, talk through whatever else that you have, and so on and so forth. And there's a tool that we use in our company which tells us who is talking to whom, how many interactions are taking place. It's metadata, it's not snooping on somebody's email, but you really know the thick lines where the interactions are. Can you make them sit together? Or can you forcibly make them sit together for a coffee every day? We call it coffee with Karan. So chai pe chalcha. Okay. So essentially how to foster a collaboration, break the walls, break the silos, make people talking, make people going, and so on and so forth. At least I met this morning a gentleman from Dabur, and he mentioned to me that Ricardo Semler's book Maverick, in which he mentions about that when a meeting is taking place, list all the ideas outside, and anybody who feels can contribute can walk in and contribute instead of having specific attendees to the meeting. This is about collaboration and contemplation. This is the area where you, different from concentration. Concentration is to get a report done. Contemplation is an area where innovative thoughts come to your mind. So these 3 areas we need to start providing in office are, since we are a loss-making company, this is the first quarter we turned in a profit. And we couldn't afford to redo our office, so we started doing parts of the office, redoing the parts of the office. So our marketing team has put together a jhula, and their conference room is meant not to be used by old people like me. You have to sit crossed legs on tatami mats, Japanese style, and so on and so forth. And they put a bar stool there, and so on. And now another engineering team has designed their own office. So everybody is designing their own office in the way. There's no cookie cutter approach. The aviation team is designing the tables like the wings of an aircraft, and so on. So we have given them, oh God, time is up so quick. So what we are saying is you move, HR systems are a system of record. You keep a record, salary is this, designation is this, joint this, and so on and so forth. Move to a system of engagement. So have things like coffee served by CEO going in the morning as barista, Yammer institutionalized in your company, or any other tool which helps you engage the people, because people are going everywhere. If you take airlines, staff is flying all over the place. If you're talking to Dabur Nutrimen, they have thousands of sales staff in the field. How to engage them? You have to have them tools of engagement, otherwise they will be isolated from the company. Moving away from individual to teams. So in our case, for example, the user experience team is called Chrysalis. So every mail goes to Chrysalis. So anybody has a thought, everybody comes to know what this thought is, what improvement they want in the product. Similarly, all contracts go to a legal team, not necessarily to individuals. So just reduce dependence on individuals and depend upon high performance group of people, so that nobody is indispensable in some way. Actually, nobody is indispensable. It's just the myth and aura people surround themselves with. And people tend to hoard knowledge and thereby try to become indispensable. So just make sure the knowledge is available in central place and not hidden by somebody. All proposals should be available at a particular place, can be seen by others who are authorized to see, and so on. Approvals, culture of trust, a very celebrated case study on Netflix, which became viral, I think got downloaded 7 million times or something, where they don't have how much vacation time you can take any amount of vacation. There is no rules that these many days paid leave and so on. There are no rules on travel policy, despite being a Sarbanes-Oxley company. And so you can claim what you think you should. So in our company, we don't have that as yet. But what we have is that when in doubt, employees' rights. So finance can't overrule. And generally, if you don't consistently overstep your limits, we will keep accepting occasional indiscretions. So book of rules, similar themes, instead of bureaucracy, focus on excellence. I'll just give an example. One young person We've been wanting to introduce chat and collaboration feature in our software for quite some time. My R&D has been giving me 55 reasons why it can't be done, or why it will take 6 months to do it. Until I discovered in a particular location in US, it's being used in a customer site. So I asked who's doing it, how it got done. So one guy said, the customer wanted this, I wrote to somebody in offshore, and this gentleman did it, some Anurag Mohan or somebody. And since then I went and met this gentleman, I said, how do you did it and can it be used in the entire software piece? They said, yeah, of course, the entire software can use it, not only this customer and so on. So since then I've started calling him to all meetings that are important. I realized that we have Mark Zuckerberg sitting in our company quietly there, and the problem that I face is that the 3 level of bosses above them are so jealous of this guy that in my absence they're all busy stifling him, making sure this person is crushed under the nearest road roller that exists. So we have to figure ways of giving these people a voice, a way of rewarding excellence, because if you just go by age, hierarchy and so on, then you don't have people like wine who will mature, they can decay also. If everybody is like wine, I can understand they will mature, especially red wine matures, white wine doesn't. So it's important that we nurture the talent and spot them early and give them the importance that they deserve and make them shine and give them a path whereby they are visible to the company. This is, you give a person a cubicle or you give a person a chance to work from anywhere, wherever they are, to get the job done, because we essentially want to get the job done. Since they've put the bell so early, I'll have to kind of rush a little bit. So these are tools of ease for how to make life easier. Can you scan a receipt and send? Why do you have to attach cumbersome staple your bills and then they get lost and the finance doesn't pay and so on? When the banks accept scanned checks, then why don't you accept scanned receipts? So our finance incidentally hasn't allowed it as yet. So every time I do something, some auditor rules is quoted and said this can't be done because of this and so on and so forth. Or the physical invoices have to go, while one of our customers sends 5,000 invoices per day, electronic form without having physical invoices in India itself. But what I'm trying to say is there will be, your own teams will throw 500 reasons why this can't be done. Until you, like a bullheart, says, no, it has to be done, and so on, and then somehow it will get done. And it's not just managing employees, it's managing the entire ecosystem. If you're not managing your ecosystem, then possibly you won't get the kind of people you want. So maybe your own recruitment boards, portals, LinkedIn, managing alumni, all this become extremely, extremely important. And that's the reason we say that focus on mobile, user experience, in memory, shift from HCM to when Narendra Modi could shift to social media, I don't know how many, he's the second largest follower person on Facebook now, liked person on Facebook after Obama, and possibly double the number of followers on Twitter compared to Shashi Tharoor. So when a person at that age could adopt social media and woo the young voters, it's time, if you want to have a new workforce, we figure out how to use these tools to woo the new generation of our workforce. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. They set the rules.
Viral, which is a US organization. Of course, we are an emerging economy. We have issues of finance and cost issues. So we cannot, as emerging market, afford to say that, okay, take as much vacation as you want. How are you addressing the question of return of investment, cost, as well as giving them the freedom to choose?
No, I will tend to disagree. I will do Rahul Gandhi on you. I'll answer a little bit what you didn't ask for, okay? So essentially I'll just digress for a minute just to make my point. The point is, from our country, we don't have a single brand or a product which is recognized from Brazil to New Zealand. If you take France, they have at least 25 different brands which are recognized globally. If you take Japan, right from Sony, Panasonic, blah, blah, and so on and so forth. In US, many of them. From our country, not a single brand. Possibly the closest is an acquired brand called Jaguar. Okay. That's the only possible brand that comes to my mind which is known globally. It doesn't happen is because we think very narrow. It is not recognized from Brazil to this place. And it is not a brand, it's a company name. A single brand, Jaguar is possibly the most recognized brand to my knowledge. Maybe there's something else, I may be mistaken. But globally recognized brand, that's the only brand that comes to my mind which is known from, and it's known in a very well-heeled market, not a generic market. So for us to break the barriers and do something, we have to stop thinking, just because you have unlimited leave, do you think people will take leave like crazy? You can still fire them, right? The fact is, if you leave it, all rules are made for 3% delinquents. 97% people comply, okay? In my company, I travel by, Tiger Airways or Indigo. My ticket rarely costs more than 200 US. And I realize that all staff that comes to Singapore travels by Singapore Airlines, which is about $1,000 or so. So once I just made it a point to tell them that I travel like this, I spend this much. I still leave it to you, your discretion, what you want to do. After that, everybody shifted to the cheap airlines. As a CEO, you have to set example. I can't be doing something, wasting company's money, holding meetings in Switzerland and expecting people to, sweat out there in Chennai and do something. If I set examples, people will follow. After that, people have stopped traveling by Singapore Airlines because the CEO himself travels by $200, never spends more than that by ticket, and that's about it. So you have to set examples, you have to live the talk, and that's how you set a culture in a company. And I haven't taken any leave since joining the company because we realized the company is in trouble, so I can't afford to take leave. And there are people taking leave, it's okay, I know people who are, leave is fine. Taking indiscriminate amount of leave is something you need to see. So if you make rule for 3% of the people, you are spoiling life of 97% of the people. You have to be bold. You have to set a different vision. Then you will attract the kind of people who will make a difference. Otherwise, you will make them, they stop innovating because you are setting very strict boundaries there. When I picked that person up who did this chat and tool and started getting him to meetings, I'm making a statement that if you make contribution, we will recognize you. Howsoever junior you are, whatever you are, we'll forget the hierarchies, we'll forget the R&D head, and because the job is getting done where it's getting done. Other people are giving me reasons why it can't be done. I will rather be with a person who gives me a reason why it can be done. So that's a statement we have to make. If we have to innovate at a fast pace. See, you may not be in an industry which you will get wiped off. We are in an industry which will get wiped off. We every day cross swords with Oracle and SAPs. They are 10,000 times our size. How do we fight? We have to fight by out-innovating them, outsmarting them. If our salesman doesn't look much more smarter than their salesperson when it comes in front of a client, we won't sell. People are buying a brand. People are, who is Ramco? Why will they buy from us? So it's extremely important for us to have a culture in which, while SAP salesman walks with a baggage of, the bureaucracy tied to their leg, and our salesperson is sprinting. That's the only way we can win the battle. I ask the organizers, they may want to throw me out of the stage. You tell him.
So from 94 till 98, I used to work for a company called Max India, which is into hospitals and insurance these days. So during those days, we had a policy where an employee could take unlimited number of days of leave, as well as the medical reimbursement, which is normally like, in order to 15,000 rupees per annum, whatever, that was on actuals. Any amount can be taken as medical reimbursement during the year with no cap at all and no cap on leave also. So this practice was being followed during those days.
Thank you so much. I think that means that we have, only gone backwards as a corporate world, a country not forward.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Vijayendra Agarwal, and to thank Mr. Vijayendra, I request once again Mr. Rajesh Khubchandani from ETH to kindly join us on stage. I request Mr. Vijayendra once again to come up. Mr. Vijayendra, can we please have you once again on stage with us? Can we please have Mr. Virendra on stage with us once again? Can we please have a bouquet for the gentleman, for such a lively speaker? Thank you so very much.